Guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to get right back on the 37 Dodge, which I had mistakenly put down as a 36 the first video. Today we're going to be sealing off the trunk from the front of the car here. So I guess basically that's pretty straightforward what we're going to do. I'm going to end up taking some 1/2-inch light wall square tube here, basically framing this out from the bottom of the window down to the floor, probably somewhere right below this bead roll in this area, straight up to the window there, and kind of try to mirror image the floor. I got everything kind of diamond back and then diamond up and then diamond into the trunk. So we're also going to try to match that up with our uprights to where these bead rolls are here. We'll kind of angle those up to the top, and then when you look at it from in the trunk, everything's kind of a mirror image and has the same flow all the way through. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to get some tubing out, start cutting some pieces, wire wheeling the tubing down, getting it ready. We're going to get this thing all framed out, make a template, and pretty much seal this sucker up today. One other thing I want to point out is because this ramps down like this so much, my original idea is to basically, once this piece is in from here up, to put a cover on this for tool storage and whatnot. Also, like usual when I'm doing a car, I forgot about a battery tray. So I'm thinking maybe on one side or the other here, probably that side because it's a Chevy, the starter's on that side, I'll probably end up cutting out over here and incorporating a battery box right into the floor system, where you can come into the trunk and just pop this lid and have access to your battery and all that stuff. And then the remaining area will be for basically tools and, you know, maybe a jack and whatnot, some safety equipment, whatever. So yeah, let's get some tubing cut and get this thing done. Alright guys, so at this point I got my template all made up here for my divider wall. I just want to show you a couple things before I pull it out. Up here on top I decided to just follow the window line here. I'm going to weld this all the way across and buff it out so it's a nice smooth window return, get the trim work and everything inside of here. Over here on the side, you can see I got a mark here. This is right at the seam on the body line, and I did the same exact thing over there on the other side. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that's even from here to here, leave the crown in the middle for the window, cut those, you know, flat and parallel, and then I'll put everything in here and just cut 2 extra little pieces of sheet metal when this is all done and installed, and kind of run them up in here kind of at an angle back to the sheet metal here. And then I'll just have to weld this one seam and buff it off. I think that'll work out pretty good. So I'm fit pretty good, nice and tight. There might be a little trimming. I probably should buzz some of this insulation off here, but kind of what my plan is, I think we're going to end up doing some aluminum door panels door panels and panels back here. This piece is going to end up coming out. This is where the original divider would have been. So I'll end up cutting that off smooth. And back here, I'll probably just run one more 1/2 x 1/2 straight up and kind of try to match it out to up here so this all flows back smooth. So when I put this panel on, it's just a nice transition straight back into this divider wall. And then one other thing to mention with that is I got to make sure my bead rolls, when I lay out my panels in here, do not extend beyond this point, because otherwise my aluminum is going to run up to it and kind of screw the look of it up. So I'm going to get this thing out of here and we'll go get it transferred to metal, get it bead rolled. Guys, I think the paint is pretty dry now. We're going to slide this thing in here and start welding it up. Alright guys, so I finished up all my grinding here on my back panel yesterday and came in this morning and kind of started off, didn't have the camera rolling, and finished up these two pieces here on both sides. Turned out pretty good, everything's tied in now. The window did change angle just a tiny bit for the trim piece. It came down and it actually had more of a, an angle coming back on it, but I fit that in here too and just gave it a little tweak on the bottom, and it actually fits really nice around there, the trim molding for to hold the window in. So yeah, it turned out really good here. And as for the trunk, my original idea, like I mentioned earlier, was to basically put a door over all this stuff kind of for a storage area. But I think instead of doing that, I'm just going to end up putting the battery over here, kind of cut it into the floor a little so it's flush top and then mounted in some type of box over here. And then I kind of figured you'd have just enough room left to throw lawn chairs in there, the fold-up style. So I think we're just going to leave it open. If he wants a top on that or wants to do something like that later, maybe that could be part of the interior job. But everything turned out really good. Pretty dark in here. I might end up putting some LEDs up above inside here so you can see, I guess, if it's nighttime or whatever. But yeah, turned out pretty good, and I guess that's going to be pretty much it for this video. We're going to move on to some other stuff around here for a couple days and try to catch up on some work here. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.